And we're back with WhoWhatWeddings.com, and we're here backstage at the Elizabeth Fillmore Show. And I'm standing with Julie Sabatino of The Stylish Bride, and you're a bridal stylist, right?
Yep.
Tell me about that.
Well, I focus on the fashion for weddings. So basically I do what a wedding planner does for the whole wedding, I do it for fashion. And that involves everything from dealing with the bride, finding her dress, which is the most important, to all of the other pieces of the fashion for the wedding, including all of her accessories, grooms, bridesmaids, mothers, really pulling the whole look together for her to eliminate a lot of the time and stress that she would spend on it.
And when you come to shows, these runway shows, what are you looking for in particular?
I'm looking for, I think, mostly what each designer is speaking to. I should say who each designer is speaking to, because I find that it's very easy to get wrapped up in a style or a silhouette, but really when I work with a client, it's about the personality of the bride and what she's looking for and what she wants to express on her wedding day, and bringing out her own personal style and making her feel beautiful. And I look for individual pieces that will help each bride do that.
Pull the whole look together.
Yeah.
Now, of all the shows you've been to, are there any standouts, any favorites?
Elizabeth Fillmore is definitely my favorite so far.
Good. I loved it. Wasn't it beautiful?
It's beautiful.
Very romantic.
And I think what she does is, every season it's stunning, and I think that it's different and really a very
glamorous.
Very glamorous, but very wearable, and it really makes the bride look beautiful and sexy without being over the top. And they fit well, they're made incredibly well, and I always love what she does. So.
And have you noticed any trends this season?
A lot of bows, actually.
Bows are huge.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny because a lot of them cycle back in. A few years ago we saw a lot of bows, but they're back. And it seems to me that it's really more like 50s inspired and very Audrey Hepburn and classic, which suits me very well because I love that look. I think a bride should look timeless on her wedding day.
And if a bride is getting married right now and she's having, difficulty finding her dress, what is some advice that you would give?
I would actually tell her to really think about who she is and to spend a lot of time thinking about her personal style and what that is and be true to it. A lot of times I find that a bride has an idea of what she wants to look like on her wedding day that isn't necessarily who she is as a person, and that's when you get something that doesn't jive together. But when you really step back and think about it, okay, well, I am, for example, a bohemian girl who's getting married on a beach, it really defines what they're looking for.
Yes.
But the other important factors are location, season, and price. And combining all of those factors, it's a lot of work. I mean, there are a lot of choices out there, and I think it's important to really remember those different things and pull together a game plan on how to look for your dress.
And I was wondering, I've been seeing a lot of reception dresses, a lot of tearaways. What's your feeling on the reception dress? Do you think that it's...
I don't think it's necessary. I think that but it can be fun. It really depends on the bride. Sometimes a bride wants to look very traditional and formal in the church or ceremony, and then really wants to, party and have a great time at her reception. And that could be two different looks for her, and it could be a way of expressing two sides of herself, and I'm all for it. But I don't think it necessarily has to be. I think that a lot of times a bride falls in love with a wedding dress and is excited to wear it all night. And there are different ways to change the look without changing the dress, which is something I do often.
Give tips. What do you mean?
Well, keep your hair stylist. So go from, an updo to something down. Change your accessories. If you're wearing a sash or any sort of detailing, change the color. Change your shoes. There are ways to change it that I think lipstick shade, I think, is actually a really important one. But I think that there are ways you can spice it up without actually having to change your dress if cost is an issue.
Well, thank you for your time, Julie. This is
My
Julie
pleasure.
from The Stylish Bride, is that right?
Yep, that's right.
She is a bridal stylist, and you've been watching WhoWhatWeddings.com. Stay tuned for more insider info in the wedding industry.